next guest. He's responsibility for 2 of these 3 things, and no doubt he's aiming to achieve all 3. He served the people of Mayo in the Dáil since 1994, taking over from a certain Pádraig Flynn, and has gone on to hold many front bench positions in the Fine Gael party. Following Fine Gael's return to power, this proud Mayo man was appointed as Minister for State for Tourism and Sport, a position he currently holds. Michael Ring, you're most welcome to the programme. You and I had a great honour of starting a bicycle race here in Westport this morning. We did it in tandem, and we just had a little chat about your party leader, Enda Kenny. Have a listen to this. Michael, I was talking to Enda Kenny last night, right? And he said to me, would you ask Michael Ring when you see him, does he still have that bruise on his shoulder from that county final we played in 1975 when I hit him a box?
Bobby, I'll take off my shirt if you want to see him. He wants to take off his shirt too, because what he gave me, I gave him back twice as much. The player side was. The Lady Bills are here, they were tough,
Michael Ring.
That's not a true story, but it is. And I see some of the Island people here, and Liam Hortons remembers this. They went on to win the county final, and there was question marks what they were taking at the time. And I won't say anything, Liam. They used to give it to greyhounds.
First club scandals, and Mike Club got a roll with the subjects on the day.
Yeah, remember, and we were before that.
Say no more, Michael. Say no more, it's in the courts.
Say no more.
Now, Michael, we're down here in Westport, and we were actually thrilled to come a day early to soak in the wonderful atmosphere in the town, to do the cycle yesterday and all that. We're going to be talking about Westport and what it has, but what does Westport mean to you?
Well, look at Bobby as somebody that's born and reared in Westport. I was born in this town, and I have to say what it means to me. I travel all over the world in my job as Minister for Tourism and Sport. I get the opportunity. And when I come in Sheehan, and for people that don't know Sheehan, that's the hill just as you're coming into Castlebar Road. When I look down and I see the 365 islands, I'm happy to be home. And no matter where I go in the world, I love to come back to Westport. I think it's the greatest town, not in Mayo, not in Ireland, but in the world. And we have something in this town that they don't have anyplace else. We have community, great community spirit, great community feeling in this town. And I can tell you one thing, if there's anybody in difficulty or need anything in this town, the community rally around. I love this town, I love the people of this town. And the one thing about this town, when people come in to live in this town, to work in this town, they get a good welcome. And that's why Westport is where it is, because of that community spirit, that business spirit, and cooperation and help one another. And that's why it's such a successful town. And I'd like if other towns in the country would copy what we have. Community spirit, and to help one another. And business in Westport, if it's a hotelier, it's a restaurant or a shop, it doesn't matter what it is. If they go into a shop, they don't have what they want, they'll say, go down the street to such a one, and they'll have it. The same with the restaurants. If a restaurant is filled, it's in the place else. People don't mind putting their hands into the pocket. They believe in community, they believe in jobs, and they believe there's a great spirit there in the town.
Now, you were a former auctioneer, and you would have known a lot of people through your property dealing days. Was it a sort of slow graduation into politics for you, or is it something that was always in you?
Well, look, Bobby, I've been very lucky. I was elected to the Westport Town Council in 1979. And there's some people here today, and I'd see them around here today, it's a big crowd. And I remember in the 80s, 81, 82, 83, I think we had 3 general elections in a row. And younger people in this town won't remember what the issues of the day was. And I'll tell you what they were. The dereliction of Westport, would you believe that?
Right.
Shops closing, major recession. Westport had a Seafield Gentex where the town had closed down. There was a lot of people very disturbed about what was going to happen in the town. I was elected to council, the town council, and I have to say this, and I'm saying it against my own party, it was a mistake getting rid of town councils, because we had one of the best town councils in the country here in Westport. As a town council, we sat down. We left our politics aside to the elections, and we did have political rows, but at the end of the day, the common goal for Westport was the town of Westport. We made a decision that time that we were going to do something about jobs, we were going to do something about tourism, we were going to do something about the town. And I have to say that I believe that the town council led what has happened in Westport as far back as the 80s. We had brilliant councillors over the years, and as I say, at election time, we fought the issues, but when it came to community, when it came to the town, we worked, and we took some very difficult decisions. And I know people will laugh when I see Simon Wall here, the architect, before he ever came into the town. One of the first and most vicious decisions we ever took in the town was we decided that we were going to ban plastic signs. And the plastic signs, you might think that was a small issue. At the time, it was a big issue.
Yeah.
We got a lot of criticism, we got a lot of difficulty, we got a lot of resistance. But you see the town we have now, and people didn't start coming for plannings. The conditions was then that they had to get rid of the plastic signs, they put in the lovely shop fronts we have, and you can see the beautiful town we have. And I must compliment the council at times. I would be angry with them in some of the decisions that they had taken. But at the end of the day, we had the common goal, and that was the goal.
Well, we're going to be talking to many of those people, including Simon, the architect, after the break. But I want to ask you finally, Michael, about McGill magazine in 2006. They named you a heckler of the year. What's all that about? Tell me about this heckling that you do.
Well, I remember it was Bertie, at that time he was Taoiseach, and he was flying a lot around the world anyway, and he was giving out, he wanted to, he didn't come, at that time a decision was made that the Taoiseach of the day would not come into the Dáil on a Thursday. And I remember then he had a bit of a go at me in the Dáil, and I shouted over at him, I said, "You're treating this job like a FOS scheme, a day on and a day out."
Thanks for the great welcome down here. It was great fun starting the cycle race this morning, and you're absolutely right. It's a wonderful town, and it's good for someone like yourself who's been involved from the early days to see its evolution. It must make you very proud. So thanks very much for joining us.
You're very welcome. I'm delighted to have you. And I say, it's not me saying it, the Irish Times, the best town in Ireland to live in.
There you go. Okay. Up next.